Jets Ward.
Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of The Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you, but first, if you've been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here in The Jets Ward. It is a fun place to be because you guys keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here in The Jets Ward. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, I've got a fun one, just a little update for you guys of what's going on when it comes to the Jets coaching staff. And this is going to be on both sides of the ball. Some positives and some negatives. And I just wanted to get into it with you guys and just talk to you about my opinions about the whole situations when it comes to the DC search and some changes that could be coming on the offensive staff. And I'll start out with the positives. So Connor Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt have a podcast together where they're talking back and forth, and they came up and started talking about the Jets coaching staff. And on the offensive side, we have found out that there are 3 offensive coaches that are currently safe. Steve Hyden, our offensive line coach, makes a ton of sense. He's done a fantastic job with that offensive line. Honestly, I thought that was one of our strengths this year. The run game was fine. The Jets running game was actually one of the better ones in the league, especially when we were at full strength. I know John Simpson took a step back this year, but Olu Fashanu looked like an elite left tackle. Joe Tippmann looked like an elite right guard. Armand Membu looked fantastic and got better and better every week. And even Josh Myers looked competent as a starting center and actually looked pretty good to where he got an extension this year. And so, yeah, John Simpson did take a step back, but he was still solid as a left guard and somebody who I would love to bring back and just to keep the continuity for this offensive line. So Steve Hyden, safe. I think that makes a ton of sense. Guy's doing a damn good job with that offensive line, and I hope it only gets better and better for him. Next one was our tight ends coach, Jeff Blasco. He is safe, according to Connor Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt. And I think that's a good move as well. I think Mason Taylor, when he was healthy, looked solid and looked like a very good future number 1 tight end for the New York Jets when healthy. Now, the neck injury is a little bit concerning, but if the Jets don't seem overly worried about it and think that he's going to come back healthy and ready to go. So he looked competent when he was out there and looked very, very good as a young tight end, up-and-coming tight end. Jeremy Rucker took major steps forward as well. Better receiver and a better blocker this year to where he got an extension too. Jets favorite. And growing up, he was a Jet fan too. So really good story there. And then another coach that is safe, Sean Jefferson, our wide receivers coach, was our wide receivers coach under Robert Saleh and survived to be under Aaron Glenn. And he's continuing to be here. I think it's good. He knows the receivers. I think there could have been possibly a change with him, but I think Garrett Wilson really enjoys him. I think he likes working for him. He's proven that he's a solid wide receivers coach out there. So one of the better ones in my opinion. So these are 3 confirmed people that are safe. Tanner Engstrand, I don't think is going anywhere. I think he did a solid job as an offensive coordinator, as a first-time offensive coordinator, first-time calling plays. I think he did good with what he was given. Think about it. Justin Fields, not good at all this year. And in some games, he made him look okay. Then there was Tyrod Taylor. Again, when he was healthy, was fine out there. And then Brady Cook's an undrafted rookie. You're not going to get much out of him. So he did what he could with them. And at the end of the year, the Jets started sitting a lot of players too. And so Tanner Engstrand's hands were kind of tied. I really like him as an offensive coordinator. And the great thing too is, I think the positives that we can take away from this is, one, the Jets are keeping everything in-house. We're not hearing any leaks coming out. which I really, really like. They're keeping everything in house, keeping it close to the chest, and doing what I think good organizations do, not letting those leaks get out and for people just to comment and go after and do all these different things. Because right now, the Jets are a joke. They are. The NFL does not look at them very seriously. Other teams don't respect us at this point. So by them keeping everything in house, I really like it. It's less out there, less for the media to try to rip apart. They don't know what they looking for. So I really, really like that. Now, another name that we didn't mention, Charles London. He is somebody I think should be gone. He's our quarterbacks coach and somebody who, if you look at all of our quarterbacks, didn't really do well this year. Justin Fields regressed after a year where he played for the Steelers and was 4-2 and actually looked solid. He was getting better and better. To come here and to play like he did, it was a massive regression for him. Tyrod Taylor, good, but he's a solid veteran who, no matter what, is going to put some good work out there. Just the injuries plague him. And Brady Cook, every start that he got, he seemed just to get worse and worse. So Charles London, I don't think deserves to be here. He was a running back in the NFL. He was a running backs coach, turned into a quarterbacks coach, and has not been successful at all. And he's somebody I think that we need to change and bring in an actual quarterback coach in. But I like that we're not hearing much on this. There was talk about the Jets trying to bring in a veteran offensive mind to help out Tanner Engstrand and to assist AG. I think that would be a great move. But we're not hearing anything, which, don't know. Could they be doing that? Perhaps. Could there be other changes coming? Definitely. I think we're going to be seeing some coaches getting relieved of their jobs and some new hires getting brought in. But that's on the offensive side of the ball. Now on the defensive side of the ball, kind of negative. The New York Jets came out last week and had our list of 8 guys that we interviewed. And some of them, a lot of people were happy with. Wink Martindale was somebody who looks like he's leading the list. Jim Leonard, somebody I was really excited about. I think Wink Martindale and Jim Leonard were 2 of my favorite ones. Then you have Durante Jones from Minnesota. He's somebody who has a lot of respect throughout the league and somebody who can become a decent defensive coordinator, somebody who's been learning in Brian Flores' steps for many years now. And we just saw Brian Flores signed another contract with Minnesota. And at Bars, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he will become the Vikings defensive coordinator again. So does Durante Jones go back there? Or does he go and finally become a defensive coordinator? And then you see O'Neal from Detroit, who worked with Aaron Glenn, could be a sneaky hire. Rich Cimini says that he could be a dark horse guy. Okay. So a lot of names that did bring excitement, but other names that really left a lot to be desired. But it came out as well, according to Connor Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt, that the Jets were trying to go big fish hunting when it came to DC. We don't have any names of who they were trying to target. We can only assume maybe a Jim Schwartz or a Brian Flores or a Minter, who got a head coaching job for the Ravens. Congrats to him. One of those big name guys. But the Jets got turned down. And in all honesty, it is what it is. The Jets aren't an attractive place at this point. Hell, we got Aaron Glenn, and who's supposed to be a defensive mind, and our defense didn't even have an interception last year. And Aaron Glenn is going into this season after a 3-14 season on the hot seat. So if you're a defensive coordinator, somebody who's a big named one, you don't feel comfortable going into this situation because you might be a one and done coach here. Like Aaron Glenn, if he doesn't get things turned around and we have a bad season next year and people aren't progressing and it gets worse and worse, he's out of a job. And this whole coaching staff is. So if I was a big name defensive coordinator like a Brian Flores or a Jim Schwartz, of course I wouldn't go there, especially when there's other jobs open that you can go to. Robert Saleh got hired in Tennessee. Maybe he wants one of those guys to come in so he can be that CEO type of coach. All right. There's other jobs open as well. Jeff Hafley going to Miami. Maybe he wants to be a CEO type of coach and wants to bring one of those big fish guys in. So there are other opportunities for these guys to go and get a better situation. The Jets, again, very undesirable at this point. And don't be too shocked if we don't get big name guys. The Jim Leonard, I think, would be the biggest guy we bring in. And honestly, I think the reason he's considering it too is, let's say the defensive coordinator from Denver doesn't get a head coaching job. It's rumored that he might go to Atlanta at this point, which a lot of Atlanta fans aren't very happy about. But let's say that he stays in Denver. Jim Leonhard wants to take that next step. So maybe as a new coach, this could be that opportunity to show what he's got and that defensive mind that he's got to make a name for himself, to promote himself as maybe a future head coach, or shows that he's a solid defensive coordinator. But then again, other defensive coordinators, we don't know. Al Harris was a big name too. And the Jets haven't heard anything about him getting interviewed. We know he's getting interviews with the Commanders at this point, Detroit or Dallas, I think, as well. Could he be somebody who denied coming to the Jets? And if so, I'd be a little shocked about that, because he has no defensive coordinator anything. He's never been a defensive coordinator. So to flat out reject the Jets, I understand, not the best situation. But again, that could be a foot in the door as showing what you got as a defensive coordinator. So I think Jim Leonhard is all of our Jets fans' top choice at this point. I think it's more likely going to be a Wink Martindale as our defensive coordinator. So be prepared for that, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think he brings that aggressive mentality that I think this team needs. I'm rooting for Jim Leonhard, but Jets aren't a desirable destination. So for the news to come out that we have gone, that the Jets were interested in some big name defensive coordinator options, the feeling wasn't mutual. It is what it is. You look back to last year when we were looking for a head coach. Ben Johnson, big name out there on the market. The Jets wanted him. He didn't want us. That happens all the time. It happens. If you don't win, and if you're not a place that has a solid owner or has some stability at quarterback or stability on defensive side of the ball, leadership, and you are in the bottom half of the league every single year, you're not going to have that credibility. You're not going to have that interest. So Aaron Glenn's job is really difficult at this. You either get a brand new defensive coordinator that nobody's ever heard of before, and you go hands-on that defense and call the plays and do everything and move away from being that CEO type of player or coach, or you remain as the CEO type of coach and hire a Wink Martindale or another veteran defensive coordinator. It's a tough situation to be in for the New York Jets. So some positives when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, negatives when it comes to the DC search. I expect the Jets here, we find out as Jets fans who our DC is going to be in the next week. I think the number one guy is Jim Leonhard, and I think we want to interview him in person. And if we do, I think we offer him the job. Fallback, Wink Martindale. My biggest worry, and I'll let you guys know this, is that we settle on Chris Harris. I don't think he is the guy to go with. We saw him as our interim guy. I would be very upset if he gets named the defensive coordinator. So I think our top choices right now are Jim Leonhard and Wink Martindale. We're just waiting for what happens with Denver after this week. But let me know what you guys think. I know it's going on a little bit of a rant about the coaching staff. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Is there anybody on the list that you wish was here, that you'd want? Any changes to the offensive staff that you'd love to hear, love to see? Anything? I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you comment down below, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button as well. It helps me out, gets my videos out to more and more people. Comment as well, and hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos. I was checking today, and about 89% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So make sure if you're watching the video, just hit that little subscribe button. It really, really helps me out. And the channel is growing more and more every day, and it's because of you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok as well. I try to post my videos there and shorts there as well. And again, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.